Hey friends, welcome back. So glad that you are here with me today. Hope you had a great week. I know I did. My week started off like, because on Monday there was no school. So Tuesday, I tried on like 7 outfits and nothing worked. Till finally I'm like out of time. I didn't have enough time to get there, so I just threw on anything. And I just went about my day. But the next day, I realized when I was getting dressed that morning, I realized that there was one element that was missing from my attire. And I believe that there is a direct correlation between what we wear and how our day will be. And I'm not talking about materialistic items, I'm talking about spiritual items. The one that Ephesians 6 talks about, or Paul in Ephesians 6 mentioned. It's our armor of God. So Wednesday morning when I was getting dressed, I often reflect on the day before or the week before to see how I could grow and get better. And I thought, wait, I know why it was such a struggle for me to get dressed yesterday morning. It was because of the fact that I just got dressed. I didn't take a minute to say, God, help me, Lord, help me. And when I'm asking God to help me get dressed, yes, I want to look nice, but what's beneath that? Beneath the surface that you could see, I wanted to be well put together. So I would say, God, help me put on the belt of truth. I got all the way down to my sword, which is the word of God. And I was sharing that with my student because in second period, I don't always like to jump straight into the lesson. I like to just hear about their day, their week, their weekends. If we were we had Easter, I just like to talk with my students, have a good conversation that lasts 2 to 3 minutes. It actually helps with teaching once I just hear them out and we just have a moment to share. But a student asked me, she goes, Mrs. Campbell, how's your day? And I said, my day is so good. And she goes, really? What's so good about it? And I shared with her that the day before I tried on 7 outfits. Yep. That's a lot, right? And I shared with her that I just didn't feel comfortable. I didn't feel good. And then I shared with her that day when she asked me, it was Wednesday, I said, look here, what happened is today I woke up and I was intentional with how I put my outfit together. And the first thing I did was ask God to help me get dressed with all the items that's listed out in Ephesians 6. And I went through each item. And before I know it, the whole class is in tune. They're engaged. I mean, like you would have thought I taught the best lesson ever. And I was just speaking from right here, the heart, and just experience. So I shared with that student, and her reply was, well, Mrs. Campbell, does that mean I need to put on a belt every day? And I said, yes, because every day you come to school, some resistant force is going to be opposing you. It's going to come from the opposite direction. You have to be ready to shield yourself, shield your heart, right? And that belt of truth is knowing what God says. And this goes for you, my friend. Every day that you get dressed, before you add a layer of fabric, get dressed with your spiritual armor. And there are 6 armors of God. The first is the belt of truth. That's God's word. That's knowing what God says about you. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. And everything else, you're adopted. And then the next thing that you want to put on is the breastplate of righteousness, because you got to protect what's here, your heart. And once you put on the breastplate of righteousness, go ahead and slide your feet into the shoes of peace, because this world, it offers everything but peace. You'll be leaving, driving in a good mood, and someone's honking their horn at you because you're going the speed limit. Happens to me all the time. But when my feet is fitted with the shoes of peace, just shrug it off. I don't get angry. I don't get boiled up inside. Just shrug it off, right? The next thing that you want to put on is the shield of faith. And the last 2, they go hand in hand, right? Is the helmet of salvation. And it's the sword. Now, all of this is because every day we get dressed in our outfits and we want to look good and we want to be presentable. And for me, I like to iron everything But if I look good on the exterior, do you know what kind of damage could be done on beneath that if I'm not dressed properly? So rise up, dress for the occasion, because yes, we are always under attack, especially as anyone who's poured into lives. And you're probably thinking, well, girl, I work at a public school. I can't do that. Yes, you can. You can lead by example, because they'll notice that something is different about you. Woo-wee! Be blessed. I'm so glad you came. Truly, be blessed. I have been praying for anyone. I ask God to bless any and everyone who watches these videos. And I pray a very special prayer for each of you. But be blessed, and I'll see you next week. Bye.